Hello, my spectacular speakers. Welcome to the Sensational Speakers Lounge. My name is Deborah Northcutt. I am a speaker support consultant, and what I do is I support speakers. I support speakers, and that means that if you are a coach or a consultant slash entrepreneur who desires to build your business through speaking, then this live is for you too. What I do through my company For You of VA is I help you get more speaking engagements so you can make more money and live the life that you always wanted. Just call me your go to girl for speakers. So pull up a chair and let's have a talk. So, for the month of July, I'm going to be talking all about outsourcing. So, if you're not able to watch this live and you're watching the replay, make sure you use the hashtag replay in the comments. I always go back and check the replay to see if any comments were left, and I answer all questions you might have. So make sure if you have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comment box. Now do me a favor. Let me know where you're watching from. Put the name of your city and state in the comment box. Let's do some virtual networking while we're here. And drop your website links or your social media link in the comment box so we can connect with you. Let us know what you do. What's your business? How do you help people? You never know if there's somebody on this live who might be watching the live or watching the replay and find your business and they actually need your help. So make sure you drop your comments and not your comments, make sure you drop your link to your social media or to your website in the comment box and let us know exactly how do you serve? How do you serve people? What is your niche? I'd love for you to join my Facebook group. And the Facebook group is called Support for Spectacular Speakers. If you get some value from this video, make sure that you share it. Share it out to other people who need to know about outsourcing also. Now, in my Facebook group, Support for Spectacular Speakers, you can network with other spectacular speakers like yourself. You will get all your burning questions answered. I have a Ask Me Anything Monday. So if you have any questions regarding speaking, about virtual assistants, about any question you might have, Monday is the day to get all your questions answered. You'll get tips and you can promote what you have coming up on Fridays. On Fridays, I have Featured Fridays where you can promote any upcoming speaking engagements or webinars or anything that you might be having coming up. So today's live is called Red Flags to Look Out For When Outsourcing Your Business. Now, we all have outsourced probably some work in our business. I know I have, and I have some stories that I can tell when it comes to outsourcing. Now, I'm going to go through 5 things to look out for. Even though there's more, I'm just going to give you 5 things to look out for when you are outsourcing in your business. Um, Number one is they don't listen to you. Now, I'm not talking about they don't do what you want them to do. What I'm talking about is as a business owner, you set the stage for how your business is run. That means that you have to be clear on strategy and systems for your business. Let's say that your VA starts to lag behind, but their work that you know that they are capable of as far as the quality of work that they can provide is not what it normally is. You need to talk to them and find out what's going on and why they are acting that way. It's better to deal with the situation early on instead of thinking things will get better on their own. Maybe it's not that they don't want to listen to you, it's that they are confused because you, as the business owner, have not given clear directions on how to do a task. They get fed up and they just stop listening to you. That's a red flag for both of you. Maybe you weren't ready to outsource that job because of a lack of strategy on your end. Number two is they don't return your phone calls. I think this one goes without me having to say a lot on this. If you have outsourced a task for your VA to do and they are avoiding you, there is a reason why. It could be of various reasons, but I'm going to use this as an example. Now, this is something that has happened to me personally in my business. Say you hired a virtual assistant for a technical job. They said that they were capable of doing the job when you interviewed them, but in reality, they weren't. I know all about this because, like I said, it has happened to me. I hired someone from Fiverr to do a job for me. He said that he could do it, but in reality, he couldn't. I kept emailing him and he would return my emails in the beginning. Now, it doesn't have to be a phone call. It could be email, it could be text, it could be, it could be Slack, it could be whatever way that you're contacting the person that you outsource for to do the position for you. So, a week went by and I still hadn't heard anything back from him on my project. So I emailed him again. He told me that he had to attend a family funeral. I don't know if he had to attend the funeral or not, or he was just making up excuses to, have more time on his end. But he asked me to give him 3 days because he needed to travel to the funeral and he needed to go out of town for the funeral. So I gave him the 3 days. Then I contacted him for the last time because I was fed up because the job that I gave him really was not that difficult to do. In my opinion, it was not that difficult for him to do. So I asked him point blank, can you really do this job? He finally admitted that he didn't know how. So if you outsource the job and you don't get any feedback, or if you feel like they're running away from you or avoiding you, that's because they really don't know how to do the job. That's a huge red flag. Number three is they are not receptive to feedback. Some people can take feedback better than others. Nobody likes to hear negative things about them or their work. But there will come a time when you'll have to give constructive feedback to your virtual assistant. And that probably will be when you both have your weekly or monthly meetings. If you're having your meeting in person, it's easy to see how your VA is reacting to your feedback. You can see the body language that is being given, and you can clear things up immediately if there are any misunderstandings. But if you are giving your VA feedback remotely, that's a different story. You can't see the body language, and your feedback could be taken the wrong way. If your VA has been doing a great job for you and has gone above and beyond, you, as the business owner, need to acknowledge that. But there might come a time when something has happened and negative feedback is required. It's all about how it's given to her. Your tone of voice should not be so harsh. Be authentic and sincere when giving feedback. I'm not saying be soft, but you still need to be authentic and sincere. If your VA can't take negative feedback and gets an attitude or starts crying, you might want to think about changing VAs, but that's totally up to you. They are always busy when you contact them. Here's another story on my end. I had a virtual assistant that said that to me a lot. When I used to contact her, she used to say, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. That should have been a red flag right then and there to me. But I'm going to tell you why I continue to use her. I had used her before, and she was fantastic at what she did when I had used her in the past. Her work was outstanding. She was always available for our monthly meetings. But here's the kicker. She was single at that time, and she didn't have any children. I hadn't talked to her in years. Now, we had let her go for me and my husband had a business together and we had used this virtual assistant. And eventually we had let her go. So I hadn't talked to her in years. So when I decided to start my business that I have now, I contacted her through Facebook and asked her if she was still doing virtual assistant work. Well, she told me that she was, and she was so excited to be working with me again. And I was excited to have her because, like I said, in the past, she had done great work for me and my husband. So I hired her, and in the beginning, things were fine. But this time, things are different. She was married and she had one small child. And I think her child was about 2 years old. So I know I have a child myself. Well, he's grown. But I know how 2 years old and they require a lot of work and they require a lot of your time. So, like I said, things were different this time around. She had a husband and she had a child. So, being the person that I am, I tried to work around her and her child. Side note, don't do that. As time went on, she would contact me the night before our meetings and tell me she had something to do or she had to take her child somewhere or some type of excuse. Well, excuse to me, but I'm sure it wasn't her, on our meeting day. So I would cancel our meeting and reschedule it for another day. Then she got to the point of telling me when I would Skype her, because that's how we held our meetings through Skype, that she had company from out of town and she was rushing me to get off the phone. Now, you can tell when you're talking to somebody when they're rushing you or they're not giving you their full attention. Well, that's how I felt when I was talking to her. That, she was rushing me and she wasn't giving me her full attention. So I had it. The last straw was when I was trying to have our monthly meeting with her and I could tell that again that she wasn't there. So I'd had enough. I told her it was time for me to find another virtual assistant. She agreed with me, so the relationship ended. Lesson learned. I will never do that again. I stayed with her way too long. Remember, hire slow and fire fast. She most likely had a business of her own that she was working on. Or, I would say any other virtual assistant, if they're, saying they're busy, they're busy, they're busy, they're busy, or they're not paying attention to you when you're having your meetings, they've got something going on in the background that they're not telling you about. Now she had another business of her own that she was working with her husband, which is fine. But when I was asking her at the time, is this job too much for you? And she kept telling me no. So that's the reason why I kept her as my virtual assistant. But use your common sense. You have to decide as a business owner that if they're saying they're too busy and when you call and when you have your meetings and they're acting like, they are rushing you to get off the phone, they got something else going on. Or they might have other clients that they're working with. Whatever the reason is, if they're saying, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, that is a huge, huge red flag. It's time for you to find another virtual assistant. And the fourth thing is they never own up to their mistakes. You don't want someone on your team who doesn't admit that they made a mistake. Worse yet, they made a mistake and then they go ghost on you. As a business owner, it's your responsibility to check in with your VA. It's your responsibility as the business owner to catch errors and offer feedback, especially in the beginning. If you're not keeping in contact with your VA and mistakes are made, she could feel uncomfortable or scared to come to you and let you know that she made a mistake. Now we know nobody is perfect and mistakes can and will be made. But if you go to your VA and ask about the mistake and she starts making up all kind of excuses as to why she didn't contact you about it, or if she tries to put blame on another teammate, that's a big red flag. You should let her know that you are there to make it smooth, a smooth working relationship partnership for both of you. If you see that she is not taking responsibility for mistakes or gets an attitude, then she's not for you. So let's recap those 5 steps again. Number 1 was they don't listen to you. Number 2 was they don't return your phone calls. Number 3 is they are not receptive to feedback. Number 4 was they are always busy when you contact them. And like I said, that was a huge one for me. And number 5 is they never own up to their mistakes. Now, don't forget to join my Facebook group, Support for Spectacular Speakers. And if you have any questions on outsourcing, or if you would like to speak with me, my link to my link to have a 30-minute discovery call with me will be here in the Facebook live. So I will see you next Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time in the Sensational Speakers Lounge. I'm Deborah Northcutt, your speaker support consultant. Bye for now, and thank you for watching.